As a woman, you have to make all your fucks count. At this stage in life, most of us have already written off a few people. Nah, never happened. He didn't make me come. Cross out. He doing life in jail. Cross out. He's gay now. Cross out. He a woman now. Cross out. 3 died. -3. So you get to delete a good 7-8 bodies, you know. But now the rest gotta count. Stop fucking first and trying to figure it out later. The unknown of your vagina is what gives you the leverage. Because niggas are dumb. They're so dumb that they believe that this pussy, your pussy that they never got, has to be the greatest they ever had. They just always thinking that this new pussy is what they dreamed and prayed for. They will do anything for it. So now you gotta see what they're willing to do for it. Guys be like, why would I pay for pussy? Pussy is free. Because the free pussy isn't your fantasy. Why do people buy water? Water is free too. Turn on your faucet. Don't lead with your pussy. Sometimes women think that they pimping when they really just hoeing. You save your pussy till it's worth using it. You don't gotta fuck every guy you get a little tingle down there from.
Hey, it's episode 69, and I want you all to know I just looked up how to do a 69 with 3 people, and I can't figure it out. So I think we should just call it a snail trail.
A 69 with 3 people?
I mean, I think you actually can do it if you think about it. So
It's just-
one person lays on that. So except the other person will be licking some ass or something.
Why?
Right?
We've got pussies.
I'm thinking about 69 with all girls. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about penis involved.
Me
in
too.
that.
I was.
Well,
I meant like.
but wait, just because I said ass, it can still be girls.
Yeah, you're right. When I
Girls, we all have ass.
Yeah.
Here we
It
go.
would have to be. Ass.
Here we go, guys. Of course, this is how we're starting off episode 69.
I don't even feel like we need to
It's gonna
intro
be
the show.
it's gonna be
Just
fucking
nothing.
disgusting. This is yet another episode, guys. Welcome to Whoreible Decisions. I'm your girl Mandy B,
I'm Wheezy.
and we are sitting here next to a filthy, lovely, amazing, sexy
we
fucking
mean
guest.
filthy with love.
Filthy is a great thing.
Yes.
So we have the wonderful Raquel Savage, host of the Savage Life podcast, in the building.
What's
And
up?
y'all have been wanting her for a long time, and y'all just act like we putting all motherfuckers on private jets and flying them. This whole live in Miami. We could not buy her ticket because we not there yet. We not there yet. We gonna let these niggas buy these tickets for her
That's a
though.
fact.
So we gonna work on
Set
it
it
for
up.
bringing her back. Well, before we start, for the people who aren't familiar with Raquel Savage,
Yes.
and what you do, can you go ahead and explain why you're so amazing and filthy all at the same time?
Oh, thank you. I'm a board certified sex therapist. I'm a sex worker, sex educator. Anything sex related is what I do, basically.
How do you
Yes.
get board certified to be a sex therapist?
So in the state of Florida specifically, you have to have a master's degree in a helping field. So basically, I can do regular like mental health counseling, and then I got an extra certification that has to do with human sexuality.
So like my therapist talks with me and does exercises to like make me feel more zen.
Yeah.
If you're a sex therapist, do you like go down on me to make me feel more zen?
Right. What do you?
Absolutely not. No.
No?
No.
No, so what is
all
a
right,
sex
yeah,
therapist?
so-
do? Break it
All
down,
right.
because we don't
All
know.
right, yeah.
We thought you out here, you know.
It's so
we're leading
fascinating
people.
to me that people like hear. I don't know if it's they hear sex therapist and think whore, or do they see me and hear sex therapist and say,
No.
I know you fucking. Like I don't know.
okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Trolling and
That's
shooting a shot.
So listen. So sex therapy is literally like an actual mental health counselor, therapist.
Right.
I have ethical boundaries and guidelines. Like I cannot fuck any of my clients. I cannot give counseling, any sessions to people who I know personally, no family,
How
friends.
does that work when you look pretty? Like when I watch the Netflix documentaries, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they have some sex therapy ones where
Yeah.
people come in and maybe they're like showing people how to touch.
Yes.
They're all old and white.
So, all right. So, if you are someone who does have like actual sexual interactions with people, you're not a sex therapist. You might be a sex surrogate, perhaps,
Sex
something like that.
surrogate.
Yeah. So, those people who
So when
actually
you can
do
assist
fuck.
in the bedroom, like
Yes,
not
that's-
fucking.
But sometimes they
but-
do fuck. But
right,
yeah,
right.
it can be like touch, you know.
Are you familiar with Glamazon Tayomi?
Yes.
I don't think she has sex with couples, but she will be there and
yes.
like
She's not a sex therapist.
Yeah, I think she's a sex coach.
coach.
So
Okay.
with sex therapy, what
Sex therapist is a regulated term.
and your clients would come to you for what issues surrounding sex?
Yes. So people will do like email me and say, oh my God, I want to learn how to suck dick better. And like, okay, I understand that. But really more so of what I do is on mental health side of things. So it's people who are like, I've never had an orgasm. And they say that and generally it's because of anxiety, or I'm insecure about my body. How do I become more, or I can't approach
Sexual
women.
or
Do you have more
addiction.
people alone
Addictions,
or
dysfunctions,
couples?
fetishes, stuff like that. Both. I get
Bitch, I ain't
couples
bringing my
and
man to you.
individuals.
Wait, so people come with you because, of course, as you know, like every week we have kinks, and we're not going to get into the kink yet. But you said they come to you for fetishes.
Yeah.
And is it because they're not accepting of their fetishes and they don't know why they have these fetishes? Like, is this what you talk them
correct.
through?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I was actually just talking about this. So most people, because they approach, because I think my brand is very like explicit, right?
It's
so
fucking amazing.
They want to
but
know they want to know the skills of things. But my thing is, I cannot give you a skill if you're too insecure to perform it. So when people come to me like, oh, I want to learn how to do this, I want to, okay, if we're not going to address whatever is underneath all of that emotionally, there's no skill that I can fucking teach you. Like, I can tell you to deep throat this way, upside down, close your thumbs, but if you're insecure, you can't fucking do it. You know what I mean? So we unpack whatever emotional baggage, trauma, past stuff, internal voice, mommy, daddy problems, all of that shit.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. Not
So
bad.
it's actually therapy. It's literally
Real
like whatever
therapy.
your regular mental health therapist would do for you, it's that, except I have extra knowledge on anything sex, sexuality, reproductive health, intimacy, anatomy, dysfunctions, sex addictions, anything.
So just so y'all know, when y'all are booking your sessions with Raquel, make sure you're booking the right one.
Yeah, so here's the thing. But let me say this. If you want to fuck,
Right.
that's a different booking. And that can also happen, but that's a lot more expensive. So there's that too.
So I know we
Have
really
you ever
don't.
wanted to offer someone your services that you felt like was fucked up? Like, you know, like maybe you had an idea that like, or was a virgin or couldn't get around sexing, like, you need me.
I think most people need therapists generally.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know that I've ever met and been like, oh, wow, I really want to give you therapy. No, that is like a lot of emotional labor for me. I feel like I already do so much emotional labor. I don't even think about like
Right.
offering it in that way. But most people, I say, you need to get a therapist.
Right,
So
so-
even if you consider yourself someone who's like emotionally healthy, get a
You
fucking
need a
therapist.
therapist. So
Please.
what we normally do with our guests are icebreakers.
Yes.
I don't really think we need to break an ice with you, but we're going to go ahead and do this icebreaker with you. So the first one
Yes.
is, because you're so sexual and I love it, would you rather go a year without giving or receiving head
No.
or go a year without penetration?
I don't fuck penetration. I don't give a shit about that.
Really?
No. Wait. Let's clarify.
Wait.
Are we talking about anal penetration
No.
or vaginal penetration?
Why? Which one
penetration.
would you not be able to give up?
Anal. I want to do anal. I'll
Wait,
give up
wait.
vaginal.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so no penetration. So would you rather give
First
up
of all, okay,
oral
but
or penetration?
If the question
Girl,
is that vague,
penetration the word, bitch, you know.
now
I'm
she's
just
talking
saying.
about vagueness. Like, where's the penetration happening? Like,
I want to suck dick and I want to get my pussy
So
ate.
you want your face fucked for penetration.
Exactly. We
Okay.
can do that. But like vaginal
You can give
penetration
up
to me
vaginal
is-
penetration for a year?
It's nothing. That's like whatever. Okay, fine. What's next?
Is it because you don't have vaginal orgasms?
Yes, that's part of it, and also because
Oh.
niggas. So the people who have like penetrated me, niggas who have good stroke game, that's so rare.
It's so rare,
like it's
and you just
I
keep 'em
can
forever
enjoy
when
it
you get
without
it.
coming, but that's such a fucking rarity that it's like,
Yeah.
what are we even?
What are we doing?
And niggas be coming fast, so it's like even
As
when I'm
fuck.
about to get into it, it's like they nutted already,
And then you gotta wait for them. to
and
get
it's
back
like,
up.
so are we like, well, okay?
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not.
I don't really come vaginally often, but I still need it.
No.
I don't even want head.
Well,
I
hold
tell
on,
like
hold
if a
on.
nigga's giving me head, I'd be like, okay, fuck me now. Like
Really?
I love penetration and I come vaginally.
Okay, but here's another thing. Also, it depends on the penis that we're talking about. Because I don't like long skinny dicks.
All right,
I don't
who
really like
does?
long
Rosy
dicks
cocks.
either.
Like-
I like a nice fat bust me open. So I will say that there have been times that I've gone a long time without penetration and I have like desired the fullness of dick. If I don't know if that makes any sense, but like being
You're-
filled up,
What-
like bust open.
I like the feel
I
of
like
like
that.
getting stretched and stuff. I get
Correct.
that.
Yes. So that would be the only thing like penetration wise where I'm like, yeah, I really
That
want
makes
that.
sense.
Wow.
And I like really big dicks. So that's I think what I like. And
Boom.
also pain. Like I enjoy taking a very big dick because I enjoy pain.
And boom, and also like I said, there's a footnote there for anal sex. Like I don't ever want to give that up. So that's that.
Footnote for anal sex. Jesus Christ. So my next question is, what's the one thing sexually that you wouldn't do no matter the amount of money?
It's so funny because I feel like such a whore because I'll be like, probably nothing.
I mean, we said we get
But-
shit on for 50 G's, which is very low, I feel like, but
we did say 50
Shit
G's for
on.
shit.
and then
Shit
it kept
on.
getting lower as
I think
like,
we
talked
ended-
it
we
down.
got
What if it
down
was
to
cute?
10, right?
What if it was you? What if it
No.
wasn't wet?
I think we talked it down to 10, bro.
No, you did, bitch.
Bitch, you agreed.
I
It
said
was like as long as it was a hard shit and not a runny shit.
you.
there are. It's nuance. Nuance is important in that conversation
I
for
said
sure.
No, there is.
You can shit on me for 20. You said you can shit on me for 10.
So is there nothing that you wouldn't
I
do?
wouldn't do any scat play. I would never do shit anything. No, I would shit on someone. I've done that.
But you
I
wouldn't-
would never get shit on.
Nah, but see, I don't feel like.
No.
So for no
wouldn't do
amount of money.
No, I don't. Okay. How I'm a million?
You know what it is?
Like I'd be up in that. I'd be up in that.
It's all about like
category.
the fear factor effect. We all are like, oh my god, I'd never eat a cockroach, but for how much? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I actually don't think I could do that for any money.
I don't know that I.
I don't know
either.
about a cockroach, bro.
Bitch, you put
I
half a
would
million dollars
honestly.
on this table.
That's different because that is literally fear. Because I would probably just pass the fuck out and win the
So
challenge.
I think I would, too,
die.
but also like vacations. And so like I have a very bad phobia with like insects to the point where like I've been talking to my therapist about it because did I ever tell you
Yeah.
about the cockroach in my ear?
Yeah, no, you did.
I'm gonna tell y'all this story really quick, but it was really insane. My mom, I don't even know if I told her.
You went to a hood nigga house. You
But I
shared
went
this on the
to-
show.
I did?
Yeah, you
And the
did.
cockroach went in my ear?
And she had to go to the doctor and get it taken
And it
out.
was like
yeah,
in,
you shared
in
that.
your ear.
It was deep in there, and it was like moving in and out, and I can't even see my hair on the bed without thinking like,
Yeah.
bitch. When I had a wig, I thought it was 1,000 cockroaches.
It's
every night.
cockroaches every time you see it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, because
Traumatized.
you don't fear dick or pussy. I guess that's why you would do anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with the shits.
Like,
I would.
and I know
was gonna
that
say
you're
wouldn't
into
kill somebody
gangbang,
for
so
money,
it's
but
not
that's
the
pretty
a lot.
number.
much with the shits.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
the
all
number
a
of
go.
Okay, all right. Well, shit. Well, I'm curious then. We gonna bring this into a little something. So, what type of porn do you watch? If you kind of would do everything and are in the industry,
Yeah.
what porn gets you off?
I like to watch gay porn mostly.
Oh my god, me too.
I like to watch that.
And I think more people are getting into that.
Yeah, I like to watch two dudes fucking, and then I also like to watch cream pie porn. So specifically amateur cream pie porn.
That's my
I don't
favorite.
like to watch like cream pie porns, like professionals, because it's. I
Not
think
real.
because I'm in the industry, I know like
Well, no.
all of the
If
background.
someone
It's
talked
like,
about
I'm
it.
not interested in
Lethal
that.
Lips. She said they mix like.
Yeah,
shit
you know,
together.
they got to come up with
Did
a
she
pot
say eggs?
sometime.
No.
I think she said something about egg whites for something.
Egg
Egg
whites
whites.
or
You
something.
You can make
like
it out
that.
of anything as long as
Yeah.
it looks white. Niggas don't be knowing.
That's why
So
I'm honestly on
fuck
field right
up.
now. Like
Yeah.
I'm on that threesome app, and I'm like, we had a threesome. It was like whatever, but like the cream pie eating is like specifically what I need to get done, and then I can get married after that.
So
I
you
need to get this shit over with.
so you mentioned that you're in the industry.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Because I know you got the premium Snapchat.
Yeah.
What are the things that people can come and see?
So first of all, I would never or want to call myself a porn star because I haven't worked that hard in that industry to
Right.
Earn that title. But
What star?
star
porn
yeah.
star or porn performer or porn anything, like I wouldn't really align myself with that because those people who are porn stars do a lot of really hard work, and that's a title they deserve. Like I don't do hard work. I just like suck dick
be
for
lazy?
5 minutes and then I put it on premium and I get a band. Like so I don't really work hard.
Amateur porn performer called then.
Amateur porn is like me and you and we're girlfriends and we record it and when we put it somewhere and then it blows up and it's on this Twitter page and on YouTube.
But you're saying
and
just because it
on
doesn't
YouTube,
blow up,
Pornhub.
that's why you're not a porn star?
No, I'm saying. I mean, I
'Cause
guess.
Yeah.
I
literally-
totally understand because okay, I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
I thought porn was just like the content, whether it be video
Yes.
or some kind of media that is sexual. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe I can Google it right now.
Yeah.
No, you are right in that. So this is really the differentiation I guess I'm making. Is it just I feel the same way about modeling. So I model, but I would never call myself a model because models work really hard and they really want to
Right.
be models and that's like some of their fucking life goals. So I would feel like I'm sullying the name to call myself a model. I feel the same way about porn. Like I don't fucking work hard. I don't have the desire to be a big porn fucking performer. You know what I mean? So I feel
Raquel
weird.
Savage on Pornhub.
But
Right.
in saying that, I do put out content that is porn, and I do
Okay.
porn. Yeah, so it's like, yeah.
What do you?
And I've shot
what's
with
the
porn
word
stars,
you
so
use
it's like
that you prefer
I don't really use any. I just say sex worker.
sex worker.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
what is a sex worker?
So, sex worker is an umbrella term for anyone in the sex industry. So that would be dancers, that would be porn performers, that would be escorts, that would be fetish trainers, that would be people who sell nudes and panties online,
How do you
cam
feel about
girls.
bitches that pop their pussy on stage and rap and do all of that stuff, but then say that?
Like down escorts,
Huh?
people who sell pussy.
Barb's came for me today, bitch. I don't know who sent them the link, but I was like talking about how shocked I was that Nicki
Yeah.
Minaj said that. they was all up and through my shit.
I mean, there's a hierarchy,
Of
unfortunately.
hoes. I think we've said it now, too, in the hierarchy of hoes.
It's unfortunate because it's really like internalized misogyny. It's women kind of internalizing whatever is male-centered and playing off of that to be against one another, but it's all performative for men. If men did not exist and that whole like power of men controlling our narrative wasn't there, we wouldn't be saying, well, I don't sell pussy, I shake my ass. That logically doesn't even fucking make sense.
So,
like, bitch, okay.
Right. So I have a question. I want to bring the question, though, back to, you said you're not a porn star and you don't do porn, but you do
I have
porn.
a premium Snapchat, yes.
And with that, what is it?
So basically, it's Snapchat, like literally Snapchat, the app. And I have a specific account that I created.
Because them hoes keep denying us Snapchat filters for our live show because we have horror in our name. And you on there making money.
Thing, they don't know what my, like, I mean, obviously, I guess there's some person
Is this
in
what
the
I was hearing
internet.
about, like them trying to stop the Snapchat and like Instagram and like take those pages down?
Yeah. So because of the FOSTA-SESTA bills, they are shadow banning and blocking FOSTA, FOSTA, and SESTA, SESTA.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so those are bills that have been passed that basically censor websites, third party or otherwise. So that would include like Craigslist, Backpage,
yes,
including Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. The bill will hold websites accountable for the content that is posted. And if the content that is posted has anything to do with what they are vaguely defining, and they're doing that intentionally, and I'll talk about that as well, vaguely defining as sex trafficking, the websites get fined. So basically what ends up happening is they shut down Backpage, right? They shut down all this, the personals ads on Craigslist.
Sex trafficking,
but
not
also,
sex work.
Yes, but hold on, it's a footnote. But also for sites like Twitter and Instagram and all of that, if Twitter sees a sex worker's page, porn, whatever, they could be held accountable for the content that I post. So what they would do is shadow ban me, which is make it impossible for people to find my page, or just shut my shit down altogether.
Could we be on the way out?
There's a notice that we got from Patreon. Patreon emailed as well. Like, Patreon also said if your page has anything to do with sex or anything like that.
But there's a lot of like sex workers on Patreon. Like, they sell their pictures and like stuff like that. Like, I've seen that.
Right, but if you're selling clips or sex, they're saying that we would
even
remove your patron page.
Even if it's like sex work adjacent, which is kind of what I'm calling it, they're gonna shut you the fuck down.
Yeah,
because all of these sites don't have like a team of people who are like, let's be really specific about how we discern who is a sex worker and who's not. They're gonna be like, bitch, if I can get fined, I'm shutting you the fuck down.
Right.
And that's this bigger conversation is really about censorship. So it's really about censorship, because what ultimately happens is our voices, our pages, our ability to make money, our ability to do anything gets silenced. So I can get all of my shit shut down because I'm a sex worker and talk about sex, advocate for this, whatever. And they could say, oh, you're advocating for sex trafficking, because again, they define that so loosely. It's up to them to interpret what the fuck that means. And again, that was intentional so that they could make that decision.
Right.
But I guess currently at this time, I'm not really like hurting anybody. And when I say anybody, I don't mean like the general public. I mean like the government or whatever else.
Right.
To me, part of the reason why this bill came about and moved through everything so quickly is because of Stormy Daniels.
I was about to say,
this is a woman who is a sex worker who has a huge voice, and they wanted to shut her the fuck down.
Yeah.
So and again,
is
there so much?
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right.
So
well,
that's that.
We're gonna go ahead and get into our kink of the week for the show.
Sure.
Okay. And I really hope that maybe you have a story. Because this is the one thing that I do not do and I'm totally against.
Okay.
So the kink of the week, guys, for this week is menophilia. Do you know what that means?
Is, no.
So menophilia is arousal from having sex during menstruation.
Well, you've never had period
Fucking
sex?
on your period.
I mean, I've never been aroused by it, but like, I'm not about to stop.
Have you never had period sex?
Hold on, but Mandy says she has a 3-day period, and I feel
I
like
do
that's
have a
why.
3-day period.
I know.
So that's why
That's why you've never done it.
3 days.
No. I feel like that's why you're always like, I don't fuck on my period. It's only 3 days.
If a nigga can't wait,
but what if
I don't
it was
even
7 days?
I don't even like this is the thing too. I really have like I don't know if it's a phobia, but blood literally still. R-rated movies, I'm covering my eyes if I see blood. When I wipe myself, even while I'm bleeding, I be like, ugh. Like,
Man,
I hate blood, bro.
So side note, we have 2 things
blood.
here that y'all need to go to therapy for. Blood trauma, something's happened
There's
there.
no
and
blood
you
trauma.
and insect trauma.
But this is the thing, though. Like, if it was 7 days, I really don't feel like you could. I feel
First
like
of all,
you could get
what's
over
the
it.
issue? Like, so
see, first off,
is it your own like?
well, to me, it's like, first off, like when it's the mess, of course, that would be associated with it. First off, I don't like the
can get
mess.
messier than that, so it's like, whatever.
And then also to me, like, there is like I'm moody.
Okay, that's fair.
There is a smell associated with blood
mean,
depending on the day you're on. And to me, I'm just like not that interested in fucking during my
that's
my
fair.
period.
That's
like,
fair.
and I know a lot of people like, and I've had guys that are like, it's just a little blood,
I'm with the
and then
shits,
I'm
yeah.
totally
If
turned
it's
off.
not like a
I'm
heavy
totally
day,
turned
like
off, bro.
Day 1, I get it.
It could be day 3.5, and I still got the brown discharge, and I still don't want to fuck
Okay,
until the
that's the
brown
day
is
I'm-
gone.
I'm sorry.
See, look, that's
Look, I'm gonna fuck when I'm literally bleeding. I don't give a fuck.
I'm be
If
honest
you,
with you.
if whoever I'm fucking doesn't care, I don't care.
So
and it's a lot about their comfortability too. The dude I'm with literally was like, he got too close to my stomach, and I said, no, like stop. And he's like, oh, I don't care.
how long do you have to know a guy before that is acceptable? Like period sex. How long?
Me personally?
Don't say first night, bro, because I'll
I ain't
fuck you
gonna
up.
lie to you.
Jump across this table right
Not the
goddamn.
first
Well,
time.
you know what? This is so I want to say that sex workers would not even be able to do their job if we didn't fuck on our period. That's the real reality here.
Oh,
So because and whether you're a sex worker who fucks or whether you're a sex worker who dances or whatever, we are on our period every fucking month, right?
Right,
It
right.
happens every month. So can
How
you
long are your
imagine
periods?
if a week?
Me too.
Yeah, like 5 days. So can you imagine if we took 5 days out of every fucking month off because we're bleeding?
So what do you use? Because I know we've talked about the makeup sponges. Is there anything that you use? Like, do you use the Diva Cup? Is there anything that you use while you're on your period?
Yeah,
or do you just
tampons.
use your mouth?
No, I just get a tampon, shove it way up in there.
And fuck with a tampon in there?
Yep.
How do you get it out?
I pull the string
Look,
out.
we're both looking at each other.
I pull
like,
the string out, but I do want to say that there has been one time that I got it stuck up in that shit and couldn't get it out. And I had to go to the doctor and
Weezy
get
is
it
looking
pulled out.
like, what
He's
Weezy?
like, I'm really scared. But
It's
like
not
I'll
that
fuck on my
scary.
period.
Look, no, like,
okay, I'm gonna say this.
No.
I will like I've had very intensive conversations with the guy that I'm currently dating about like my period and fucking on my period. And he's
Yeah.
like, look, I'm an adult. This is something you're gonna always
Facts,
have
we
to
grown
go through,
here.
and I'm just not gonna not do this with you because I find you disgusting. If you don't want to personally do it because you can't deal with your own messiness or you have a complex about it, fine. But like, this is not gonna stop the show for me.
Yeah, my
no.
thing is, I think for me, so personally, I don't give a shit. And also, if I'm doing sex work, I'm fucking on my period, and that's that. But also with people, when I would have this conversation, I'm gonna be asking people like, what comes up for you when you think about it? If the initial thing is disgust, then that needs to probably be unpacked because periods being disgusting is a socialized thing.
Well, no,
that's really, you know what I mean?
But
So
it's like I know that I've had a period since I was 10 years old, so it's not. But to me, the act of like sharing my blood with someone, that to me is the part that sounds kind of disgusting. We're not supposed to share blood. There shouldn't
What
be
about
a
it is
swapping of it.
disgusting?
Like I just don't think. I think it's a disgusting thing.
but what comes up?
Like
what's
the smell, like the fact that blood is blood. Like
I
know
get the smell
I know
thing
that
more than I get anything
Well,
else.
even when I was growing up, so being in school, if a kid had a cut on their finger, like they told you don't touch it. There's blood. Like so, I don't.
But that's
I
socialization.
don't feel like people should be touching each other's blood. I guess I don't know. It's just fucking gross to me. Like I'll stop spit, I'll squirt on a nigga, I'll piss on a nigga, but blood, I don't know, bro. I just can't get with it, dog. I just can't.
that's the
It's
that's
not
the
even
part
like
you gotta
can't
get
unpack.
with it.
blood.
I can't get
You know
with
what?
it.
It's like if you were a lesbian and you had to fuck on your periods, I could get if it was someone else's blood, but that's what
You know what?
surprises me
Thank
the
God,
most.
lesbians, when you around a bitch long enough, your periods become in
They
sync.
sync up.
So, bitch, we gonna be on a period at the same time, bitch. We just not fucking this week. See you next week,
I'm
ho.
gonna keep it 100. I have done that shower sex
Of
with a
course.
bitch.
Yeah.
Not with
Yeah.
men, but like with a girl, yeah.
I mean, I said that I accidentally, like, I was eating a girl out and fingering her at the same time, and
Maybe
then
it's just your
noticed
nails.
the color under my nails.
Yeah.
And she,
Nah, you brought that shit on.
no,
with the
I
fucking-
must have popped the shit on. That's why we were just talking about
No
nails in the
nails, no
hallway.
nails,
I was
yeah.
like, oh well. I mean, like, damn, bitch, your period came on. I see it under my nails.
But the
goddamn.
word that you said, that's not just like fucking on your period. That's a philia. So that's like being aroused, particularly by doing it. when you're on
Right,
your period.
right. Well,
so that's a totally separate thing
there
than
are
just
guys,
like doing it.
there are guys that will ask
yeah,
to
it's a-
fuck
it's a
while a girl is
genre
on. It's a
on
thing.
Pornhub.
Yeah. No, I didn't click on that one. But I know that that's a thing. So we're gonna go ahead. The kink for the horrible decision, we want to do a lot of talking with you.
Okay.
A whole
Let's
lot
do
of
it.
fucking talking. So I want to
I'm
make sure
ready.
we get there. So the horrible decision for this week, I like to lovely call it the oldest profession.
Yes.
That's
So,
a classy way of
you know,
saying hoe.
I want to get into everything hoe.
Prostitute whore.
Everything hoe. Everything hoe. So before we start, and I hope maybe you have some ones to debunk as well. So I want to open this up with common misconceptions about sex workers.
Yeah.
And about sex work in general.
Yeah.
So one that is often perceived, and I want you to maybe debunk that in any way or fashion you can, because I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
The common misconception that I always hear is that sex workers are dirtier than non-sex workers.
Oh man,
As
I
in-
love people's
yes.
minds and how people's minds work and how people really lack critical thought and the ability to think about what they think. You know, because
Yes.
people have a lot of beliefs and moral values that come from nowhere and they don't ever really reflect on them and it's not logical. So it's just I'm just so interested by people and how they think. But first of all, I'm not going to say all sex workers. First of all, let's start
Go
with
ahead.
Let's start with the fucking question alone, because I do not like the framing of dirty versus clean.
Agreed.
That language
Agreed.
to me already sets up and throws off. It's a loaded question. You know what I mean?
In
Because
what way?
then that framing sets. So like loaded questions are basically questions that already have an agenda in them. So that I can't. All right, cool. All right.
Oh, we
So-
there with you.
all right.
And
So
I will
Versus
tell you
clean,
real quick
What do you
too.
think it's loaded with that? Do you think dirty is in like dirty?
So
To
dirty
already
has a
add
negative
a
connotation.
negative
and
connotation.
so that because of that, the way in which I'm forced to answer basically is no, I'm clean. And I'm not saying you
want
forced me,
to know-
but
no,
that's
these
like
are
the
common misconceptions that I
Correct.
found online. So
yeah. I'm not saying
okay.
you, but so that's like the framing of the question is now, and it puts me on defense, not me, or puts whoever's being asked
of
that on
course.
defense because like, well, I'm clean. No,
Of
first of all,
course.
none of us are fucking clean. We all have diseases. We all get viruses. We're human. That's part of the human condition is we get sick.
Right.
Sometimes we get sick and it can't be fucking cured. And if it
Right.
can't be cured, we manage it or we fucking die. That's the human experience. So STDs and HIV are a part of the fucking human experience. If you have sex, you are someone. Even if you don't have sex, if you are a human person,
Right.
you are liable
girl-
to be able to get a virus or
and girls are getting fucking yeast infections and
Oh, bitch.
BI, like all before even
all the
fucking
fucking time. Yes,
all before even
so
fucking.
and people consider that dirty as well.
They do. Nah, niggas be thinking girls with a yeast infection is dirty, but it could literally come from a
literally
fucking bathing suit or
everything.
too short of
Yes.
shorts or
Yes.
like
or diet?
or
Yes.
like anything can affect the
Humidity.
vagina.
I live in
Yeah.
fucking Miami, bitch. Like
Well,
what the fuck?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's that. So that's one of the common misconceptions, and I hear you talk about it all the time. And we had King Noir on, who was also a guest on your show.
Yes.
Something that all of the sex workers who have been on the show, or even the people who are in the sex lifestyle, such as swinging or anything else, they get tested more than niggas, the
Right.
regular niggas.
Yes.
And I just want to say the regular
It's
niggas
kind of
because
like when
they.
you go to a sex club and you're so impressed with how many people have like their results on hand or like
and
ready
great
to fuck.
hygiene. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're like overly, I don't know, just forward about their
Yes.
their health,
Absolutely.
their sexual health. Whereas other men, I've noticed,
I'm
are
good,
like,
you good.
"Mhm."
Right.
that
yeah,
shit.
right. So the first part of that is I would encourage people to shift their language and their mindset about that concept. But then the secondary thing to that, as you said, is a lot of sex workers, and I'm not even going to say all because it depends on what kind of access you have. You know, people who do sex work on the street, for instance, have less access to HIV and STD testing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of us who are porn performers or sex workers who have more hired clientele and we have more money, we either are required to get tested or have access to that. So like porn performers, it costs $150 to go get your test.
Right.
Not everybody has access to that or the, you know what I mean? Or
Right.
not everybody has access to medical anything. So
Right.
it's not like all sex workers are more on top of their sexual health. That's not really true, but and a lot of sex workers are more on top of their sexual health because we are in the sex industry and it's
Right.
something that we think about, and our safety and everyone else's safety is really fucking important.
Right.
And absolutely, we have more explicit conversations about our sexual health than civilians. Civilians don't fucking talk about sexual health at all.
No, they don't.
It's
they
so
don't.
you know what?
I'm
I
just
was
civilians, bitch, damn.
non-sex industry
sex-
people. Yeah.
My,
Just
my,
you square
sister, my sister works in the army, and she calls everyone who's not in the
Civilians, yeah.
military civilians.
Yeah, I mean, literally last night I was with a trick, and I was sucking
Yes,
his,
trick.
I was sucking his dick, and he like, all right, bend over, we're gonna fuck. I'm like, cool, and he's like, are you clean? And I'm like, nigga. So you just thought I was just gonna fuck you raw? Like, A, B.
Whoa.
This is not the fucking time to have that conversation. Like, your dick is
Before
hard.
you
I'm
put
ready
your
to fuck.
dick in me.
Yeah, we need to have the conversation first if you're trying to do that. You know what I mean?
So even if you said, I don't know,
Oh, they're so fucking what? Oh my
All
god!
right.
Especially athletes are the
Oh,
fucking
the
worst.
worst. Let's not get
They'll
into that.
fuck anybody,
They'll fuck
anything
it-
wrong.
And then come in you and say you on birth control,
Correct.
right? Like, nigga.
What?
guys,
You didn't
say
even
what?
That's
ask
a little
me?
late to be
Because guess
asking.
what, bitch? I'm not. Now I'm getting a check. So what's up? Secure the bag, bitch.
Yo, shut up. She said
Like-
secure the bag. You're bad.
I'm good, love. Enjoy.
Exactly.
I'm good on that baby.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. I really feel for women that were living in Ireland before, like, a few weeks ago that couldn't get abortions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I don't know what I would do. I would really think about, like, throwing myself downstairs. I'd call one of my Latino friends, like, what do I have to drink to make this shit come out of
Yeah.
me? I'm just like,
It is.
because
it
they
is
know
fucked
everything.
up.
Dominican bitches know everything.
No, they really do in real
You know
life.
what I'm saying? I've called Dominican chicks venting about work stuff, and they're like, "Let me tell you what to do." I'm like, "I don't want to kill him. What the fuck? Like, goddamn! I just said my boss pissed me off. I don't want that nigga to die."
So another common misconception is that, and I found this as well, only people who have experienced trauma go into being a sex worker.
That's another.
Yeah. And it's funny because even with me and Weezy talking and me talking to men about like how much I enjoy sex or
Yeah.
things like that, people always assume one of us have daddy issues.
Right.
Or we were raped when we were young. That's why
Which-
we like sex so much.
First of all, that's so interesting too because daddy
Yeah.
issues or being sexually assaulted is likely not a you problem. That's a man problem. So that's not even a reflection of you. That's a reflection of men.
Of course,
So
but men never
very
see it as that.
interesting, right?
Yeah, men never see it as that. They're never the problem.
Correct.
We're the problem.
But my first counter to that would be how many of us don't have trauma? I don't give a fuck what field we're in.
Right.
How many of us don't have trauma?
That's a
Most
good
of us have trauma. If
Absolutely.
you are a living person who is black, you likely have trauma. If you are a living person who is a woman, you likely have trauma. If you're a living person who's queer, who is disabled, who is HIV positive, whatever, you likely have some fucking trauma. If you live in a system under capitalism, bitch, you probably have trauma. Like
Preach
there
it.
is
I just date niggas and ain't shit. So
and that too.
That's
Like,
trauma.
it's traumatic.
That's trauma.
Yes.
Heck.
So I just want to that's like my first counter is we all have fucking trauma of some sort. So that's like a how do I say this? That's like putting you up on a higher pedestal because I chose this work and you chose that, but we both have trauma, but it makes your trauma more of influential on your life because you chose this line of work. It's just like the logic just doesn't really line up.
No, I
but
agree.
I want to also say that there are a lot of sex workers who have experienced trauma. Whether or not that made them go into sex work, I have no fucking clue.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we are people. A lot of us have trauma. Some of us choose to be whores. Some of us choose to work in a fucking 9-to-5 cubicle. Like,
Right.
you just don't fucking know. So
I'm a slut too.
then boom. All right.
In a
There it
9-to-5
is.
cubicle.
Sending my pussy.
That's
Legit,
lit.
like, we'll pull my underwear down. I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. I'll send the files. And I'll send my fucking pussy.
I love that.
I remember my Wii Vibe was going off once, and the AC suddenly shut off in the office, and
like,
all anybody could hear was that. And I was like, God damn it, where is the phone? Shit.
Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to get into this too because so we just had Andrew Schultz on the show. So we went on to Brilliant Idiots, and me and Weezy were discussing casual sex and
Yeah.
having multiple partners. And he said that the biology of a woman isn't made to take multiple dicks at a time.
And he's
Whether-
and his expertise on vaginas is what?
This is what he said. He said that as women, we weren't made to be able to have the casual sex or be able to take multiple dicks
And
at a time.
what was the illogic there?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And we tried to get him to explain it. I don't know.
And
if
I'm sure
you
he couldn't
remember
verbalize
his-
because there
I
is
think
no
people,
logic.
I'm going to try to make sense of dumb people shit.
Correct.
But I think
Don't hurt yourself.
And
Right.
no, Andrew's not dumb. He's a comedian. It's
He's
funny.
a brilliant idiot.
But I do think that men think like because it's a muscle that we can get stretched out.
But we can have babies.
Well, I believe that they think because like some women have different anatomy where they may be larger down there or vulvas might look different. Like there's so many different things. They feel like one pussy is tighter because we got less fucked.
You went to school for this. Like, do you know how
So
does that
first of
happen
all,
with the looseness or the tightness?
Again with the so okay. Men who think they're authority on things they don't know about is just such a fucking disease. And It's
Absolutely.
like, it really drives me insane.
Absolutely.
But so ask me the question again because I wanna ask me again.
Basically stating
Women's
the bi-
vaginas are
the-
not
the
made
biology
for lots of dick
for multiple dicks.
because they're going to stretch.
Well, that's
Because-
that's
Because so the whole setup of that question revolves around niggas and fucking us. Because
So-
the whole
so back
point
to
there
that, yeah.
is right. The whole point there is if I have a lot of dick in my vagina, it will then be more stretched out, meaning that I cannot please my male partner as much as if it were tight. So that it doesn't even have to do like what like
And
that.
the
You know what I'm
stupid thing
saying?
is, like if I got a man and I fuck him every night, Or I'm
First of all, vaginas do stretch. I think that people always want to talk about, well, vaginas, they bounce back. But no, bitch, sometimes they do stretch and you are a little bit fucking looser. Okay, and what? You're just not going to be gaping the fuck open for hours or
they got
the rest of the year.
And I can't wait to get
Not only that, the fact that people think that dicks could stretch a pussy out and we're shooting out whole ass human bodies out of our vagina, but y'all are okay if a girl has one kid. To not sit here and to be comparing a human body coming out to dicks going in. Do you know how much smaller a goddamn dick is compared to a whole ass fucking baby?
And also,
y'all's fucking dicks ain't 6 pounds 11 ounces.
Fuck no,
they're fucking not.
Like
not even fucking close.
And I ain't gonna lie, I've had some and I'd be like, dude, what is it?
Is that a baby leg? Well, it's probably a baby leg.
It do feel like a baby leg.
Vaginas are supposed to stretch when they're aroused. So that's also interesting to me too, because so many niggas think like, oh, your shit got to be tight, dumb tight, or her pussy was tight.
That means you really
she
ain't
was
got
not
me
aroused. So if my vagina is
really
nice
hurting
and relaxed, that means it's ready to accommodate your fucking penis. Also, what were vaginas made for? They weren't made for taking lots of dick. They were fucking made for
reproduction.
Right. So if we're talking about what vaginas are made for, like, what? Niggas.
Right.
Mine was made for fucking, I think.
Yeah, mine too. Mine wasn't made to be spitting babies out.
Mine definitely wasn't made for spitting babies out,
No,
but I don't think it was made for lots of dick either.
I watched a kid say, I think when I first moved to New York, he looked at his mom in a Starbucks and said, "Fuck you." And I was like,
that's it for me.
Just take a dick.
Shut it down.
It's an entryway, not an exit.
So I want to get it. Well, I guess that's what she
Wait,
thinks
let me
of
say one more
anal too,
thing.
right?
Also, not all women fuck dicks. So that alone is like, who even gives a fuck about what happens to vaginas when dicks go in them? Like, some women don't even have nothing going up in their pussy, or it's not a dick. So fuck out of here. Completely.
Fuck you, niggas. Nah. So I want to get back into the oldest profession. So I was talking to my friends. There's a lot of questions around this. And one that they really had was, how do you prepare yourself to have sex with someone that you aren't attracted to? How?
I get the money up front.
Okay.
And I shove a lot of lube up in my vagina before I see them.
You know what?
Really?
The last escort I interviewed, she was like, I think about the money. Like, that was...
Yeah.
And I kind of get it.
Yeah. Well, most of us work because we need money.
When I had a sugar daddy, like, even though I enjoyed his company and stuff like that, like, all the stuff he was doing for me got me excited to fuck him. People were like, "Oh my God, do you like that?" And I'd be like, "Bitch, fuck yeah!" Like, I'd be looking at my nice apartment, and then I'd be like, "Come here."
Yeah. Exactly. I'm really
Did
lucky,
you pop
though.
it, honey? Did you take your... Okay, it's up? You got it up?
I don't have to fuck a lot of people who I'm not attracted to. I mostly fuck niggas that I'm super attracted to because I mostly fuck athletes. So I am very blessed that that's not my life. But I would say the few times that I have done it, it has been, I'm thinking about the shmoney. And also, niggas come so quick. It don't really be that stressful.
I mean, we see you, but okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right.
Can I ask, how do you, like, when you're fucking athletes, or, like, let's say, I met a girl who was telling me that she, like, only fucks baseball players. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah, I pretty much only fuck football players.
So, like,
thank God we're not in the same sport.
How does that get around for you? Like, how do you promote yourself to make sure you stay paid?
I don't. I just get on Instagram and like niggas' pictures
with blue check marks.
Yep. I have a whole fucking system.
Simple. So real quick, so a lot a lot of girls want to know this system. Real quick, could you share what do you DM these niggas? Right? Yes. What do you? Can we give it a little how to real quick? How do you land?
I'll share my my recipe.
Can you give a tip to the listeners?
Yeah, I want all bitches to prosper.
Yes, bitch.
So first of all, they're definitely not, because
I was about to say
me. But this is what I do, right? Okay. So first of all,
ladies, listen, because y'all been asking me about these NBA players. It's universal. It works for all these.
I think firstly, I know that the niggas who find me attractive are mostly football players. That's been my personal experience.
Okay.
I've fucked a couple of basketball players. I'm not really sure. This is my interpretation, is that I think that basketball players, at least the ones that I have seen are in my area, more so like skinny white girls.
Shit.
That's been my experience. I'm not saying all of them, but that's been my experience. So, but like football players, they're all down for the shit.
I know you, but I see with Mandy, it's different for you. I feel like, because you're pretty, you're thick, and you know ball. So I feel like it's just like they get more.
Them niggas don't even like that I know ball, because then they be like, "Oh, you know him?" Like I can't even.
No.
Or they think I know ball because I be around all these niggas.
It's like you got that package too, but with I have seen a lot of ball players with skinny white girls or models. Like, it shocks
Yeah.
me.
Oh, but that's
Yeah.
just for
And
face
it
value and
blows
to
my
be
mind
out.
because
Yeah.
I
The
be like,
whores, they
no,
do be.
these
That
niggas
just has
is
been my
black.
experience.
They be with the hoes and they be fucking all the like the bitches that they really be fucking and breaking money off for ain't the bitches they out seeing with or posting on Instagram
That's
with.
a fact.
So they
I
might
mean, you can break money off for anybody.
they
but why
might
not
like
just
the
be
way
seen with
that
a girl
a skinny girl with blonde hair looks like she may be a fucking Victoria's Secret model. Oh, but they hitting up the big booty hoes
yeah,
at
yeah,
Starlets or
But that's the thing to
the
me.
thick
If all
bitches.
you niggas like them bitches, then why not have one on your arm? Because you
No,
never.
because it's perception.
Yeah.
They
Right.
look like hoes. Like even so, there was
White
a
women
conversation.
build your social capital.
Yeah,
Big
it's
booty bitches, we don't.
it's just that. Like even with and I was with a friend before, and he's not even my friend. Bitch, wheelchair. Talk about it. But anyways. This nigga was in a goddamn wheelchair and had the fucking nerve to say some bullshit to me. I was out with my friends. I had two
While
friends
he was
with
in
me.
the wheelchair?
While he was in the motherfucking wheelchair. Don't be
He
fucking.
used to not be in a wheelchair.
He used to not be in a wheelchair, but now he is. So we're at dinner together, and I'm with my friend, two friends. One got a big booty, the other
I have the
is
comebacks
slimmer.
already. Like, nigga, you better
It's a
roll
little
your ass
slimmer.
home.
His here you go with the
I don't even know what he said. I'm mad.
So he literally looked at us, and we were just having the conversation of dating because clearly he wanted to have fun with me. I ain't into,
Yeah, sure.
like handicaps. So, but we still had the conversation and we're talking, and he was like, listen, because of how you look and your body type, I couldn't bring you to church and I couldn't bring you around my mama because you look like fun or like you're
You look like you're made for fucking.
That's pretty much what he said. And then my next friend,
I'm
mind you,
hoping it's a tattoo.
mind
thing.
you,
Like,
no,
I just don't
because
get it.
my other friend had no tattoos, but also had a big butt. And then my other friend was slimmer, mind you, be about the same whole shit as all of us.
Yeah.
And was like, because of how she presents herself,
Yeah.
she could be,
I just saw the caption.
she could be, she could be wifed or
Yeah,
cuffed or brought to
absolutely.
church, or I could introduce her to my mom without her looking at her as
It's not sound, but it absolutely is an opinion that has real social consequences in reality.
No,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you that too. What do you do with the judgment of being a sex worker from women, from men,
Yeah.
from family?
Yeah.
How do you take in judgment?
My family is wildly supportive.
I
so
love your mom, by the way.
Yeah, I don't.
Her
have
mom is
any
lit like
issues
me and
with
Weezy's
that
mom, y'all.
Where,
part.
what's your
My mom is
ethnicity?
white.
You ain't know
Mom's
that
white?
you ain't know that this was the biracial show, huh?
Super white.
No, I didn't.
Biracial show, black and white in the building. We
So your
got
mom's
1.5
white.
black
What's your
people in
mom-
the
what
house.
kind of white?
My
Your
mom has she's like Irish. Did you say what kind of white?
She from from
Irish,
Ireland?
Polish, Scottish, German, like white. Like,
She
That's what
American?
all white
Yeah.
people are, though.
No, I didn't know if
Facts.
she was American or not.
Yeah,
Because
American.
European sex work is a
New
little more
England,
accepted, like-
Massachusetts, white.
Yeah, like, but most of the white people
Wow.
are mixed with all that white people shit, like
Correct,
from
yeah.
Europe.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
like
we're not
in
like
Europe,
Russian and
there's a
Czech.
lot-
We're like-
sex work is a lot more accepted in Europe.
Oh,
than
and like
American
Russia-
street.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that influence though. She's just honestly her thing is that she either was going to know where I'm sucking dick tonight or she wasn't. And so her thing was like I'm going to be involved. You know what I mean? Like she
That's
wants to know
really
that I'm
dope.
safe. So it started when I was younger and it was just like, all right, bitch, well if this
Has
is
your
how it's
mom
going
ever
to be, this is
told
how
you
it's going
she's
to be.
proud of you?
Absolutely. She's
People are shocked that my
fucking
mother says that
yeah.
stuff to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, why would you not? Like, especially if you see your kid be successful in whatever they do, be safe.
And happy.
Because I'm going to tell you what,
Yeah,
I know
and
there's
happy.
a lot of sex workers, and I know they probably ain't doing as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't get any of that from my family. Luckily,
That's
I'm
dope.
very blessed. But
Now, I do want to just say this because I made a comment last week, and I said Nicki Minaj implied that sex work was bad. And people were like, well, it's not good. And it's not necessarily to say that it's good, but I think the shame behind it, right? Just like we may not want our own daughters to be escorts or strippers, I think it's more for the things that come with it. And we know that people could treat you so badly. That's really why I wouldn't want my kid to like strip or do something like that, because I don't want her to ever have to feel like shit. I feel like shit doing this podcast from how niggas talk to me, let alone if I was up there on a pole. So I don't want you to think we're sitting here asking these family questions, but I also do want to highlight that not every sex worker is broken and battered.
right. And
Yeah.
even sex workers who are broken and battered, that's okay too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my thing. And I absolutely wouldn't mind if I ever had daughters, which I will never have kids, but if I had daughters, sons, whatever the case may be, if they went into any sex work, as long as they're doing what feels right for them, whether it's a choice that they're making because they want to, or whether it's a choice because they have no other choice.
Shit,
You
I
know
mean,
what
and I don't mean it in the sex. Like, for example, I don't want my kid to be a waitress so that people don't have
Right.
to talk shit to her and
Right.
she's going to have to go off. Because
Right.
I feel like that is the hardest. I think that shit is harder than escort. I would rather fuck
agree.
for money than you feel, excuse me, and get a
Right.
fucking attitude of me. I don't know how people do it every day. There's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking hard jobs, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is.
You
There
know?
is.
Like, it's not just sex work. And it's like,
Yeah.
I feel so badly that people like think are, I guess maybe more for the closed-minded, but we just shit on it so bad.
I don't really know that I give a fuck about shame or any of that. Like
you don't.
I'm really.
I follow you. You walk in your motherfucking truth.
Yeah,
all
I really
day.
just don't give a fuck, and that is me. That's my authentic way of being. You know what I mean?
Were you in have you been in therapy before? Do you feel like you've been able to? What do you think makes you so confident to feel like that? Because even doing the show, like sometimes I feel, I would say 9 out of 10, and every single day I feel good about what I do. But there are days where
the only days
that I feel bad.
The only days that I don't feel good are days when, like, I've had the entire internet like drag me on Twitter, and then it goes over into Instagram, and it's straight up like bullying, death threats. I hope you get raped. Those are times when I'm like, I need to take a break. But I don't feel ashamed or any of that. It's more so like I need to not engage with this because it's so toxic.
Right.
So they're doing that based on
just shit she says.
Yeah.
Like politically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
not
I mean,
like
pretty much
sex work
just
shit.
existing, but
Oh, no,
if
she
I
talks about
say
sex work
anything,
often, yeah.
Yeah, and there has just been, like, I don't even remember what I said, but it was something about LeBron James. He tweeted something about fathers, and I said something about, like, fathers are, like, trash, basically. And the whole fucking internet dragged me for about a week and a half. And then it went over into Instagram, and so it was all over the fucking place. And so I stand by what I say, and I mean what I say, and I feel good about what I say. Also, sometimes I have to disengage from whatever is toxic. But I have never been I don't know. I think I've always been a person who, like, this is me, and I don't know how to. I'm not a fake person, I guess, is what I'm saying. I think a lot of us. So my family really taught me to be autonomous. Like, that's a word that I knew when I was like 10.
That's
like
dope.
making my own decisions.
Right.
What feels right for you? What do you want to do? What do you think about this?
I
Have
think
you thought about
toxic
like
is
that type of
also
shit?
a very underrated word. It feels very cliche. I think one of my good friends, G, was telling me that. She's like, I feel like every time I use that word, it sounds like people are always saying it. But it's true. A lot of shit is fucking toxic for you, bro.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Social media is like a hard thing to do. I posted a picture at Pride yesterday, said proud carpet muncher. And like, I used to not delete rude comments, but now I'm just like, fuck, why do I want it to just sit here so that other people can then be like, oh, no, she's not. And then I got to be liking that you're coming for me too. No, fuck it. Like,
yeah, and I think also because I have the background, and I think I've always had even though I wasn't always a therapist, I've always had that kind of a mindset. I also think a lot about how people are interacting, how people engage me.
Right.
So I know it's really less about me and more about them. So like I said earlier, I'm so fascinated by how people think or make sense of things. So when people say really terrible, rude, horrible shit to me, I think about, I wonder what's coming up for them. I wonder what traumas are triggered in them when
trolling
they
takes a lot of
read me.
effort.
You know,
People that get online and just start shitting on other women, like, especially girls, it's very hard for me to watch. I hate to say this because it sounds fucked up, but like something like a Shade Room, I kind of get it because you think you're just joining this whole thing of like, oh, it's gossip, it's fun, whatever.
I don't follow any of those.
But when it's specifically other women and they just post something with their body and another girl just gotta tell you some shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
It's horrible.
Bitch, you look dumb.
Yeah. I want to get back to sex work because one of my friends had the question. And I thought it was a really good question because I don't think we ever really think about it. Do you remember at what point and in what scenario you decided, I'm going to charge for this pussy? This nigga want to fuck. I want money.
Yeah.
Instead of just having sex for enjoyment, I need money. How and what situation did it click in your head that you could put a motherfucking price on that pussy?
So when I was in college, I don't even really remember what prompted it, honestly. But I said to myself, I'm gonna try this and see what happens. And I made
it was just trying?
Yeah, like it just like,
did you see a movie or something that made you?
Maybe I think I'm just a whore, and I just like let me try new shit.
Let me just
and they
try
really wanted
something
to
new.
fuck, so here I am. You know what I mean?
What was your first time like?
So that's what I was about to say.
Yes.
So I made the first biggest whore mistake of all lots of whores is I didn't get the money up front, and so I didn't get the money at all.
Oh, shit.
Where did you find them?
They like I don't know. I was like in a grocery store and something. It was like he hollered at me and I was like, "Oh, what's up?" And then he was like, "Oh, I'm trying to fuck." Like he didn't say immediately, "I'm trying to fuck," but like it came to that, and I was like, "Yeah, well, I charge." He was like, "All right, cool, come over," and then I just made the
Wait,
biggest
you were
mistake.
in a grocery store?
Yeah, I wasn't like I didn't like go in a grocery store like I'm gonna sell my pussy today. It
What'd
was
you
like
have in
he
your
hit
hand?
me up.
Like-
I don't remember.
Eggplant, bananas.
No,
like
no,
you look
no.
like you know what to do.
No. But that was, and so when that happened though,
Pineapple?
I stopped. I didn't even reconsider it until like years later. So
When you
I
knew the
started
rules.
doing, yeah, correct. I started getting more into it in 2013, and I had just created my Twitter, and I think maybe part of it was my Twitter was, I don't know if y'all remember ZD and like ZD girls and him twit pick this and that. I like was one of those whores.
Okay.
And so that
Do you?
No,
you
I
know,
don't.
and he's a New York nigga, I
I
think.
don't
Yeah,
know
no.
what ZD girls is.
Yeah, that's so
like,
crazy.
like the food?
That was a huge thing. No, ZEE. Well, yeah, but no.
Yeah, but no.
ZEETI. He was like he's like a nigga on Twitter who would say like twit pick your pussy or twit pick your this or twit pick you in orange shorts and
And you
bitches
would
do
twit-
it.
they would
and then
do
they
it.
would
I do
retweet
remember
it and
that.
you get hella followers.
I do remember that.
Yes,
I
and
do
so
remember
I was
that.
one of those whores
Because they were tweeting nipple rings one day
Yes.
or in a thong or
Got it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I do remember
So
that.
I think it was really that was like, wow, I'm getting a lot of attention for being a whore.
Did you have like a hoe coach to see you through to make sure you hoed the right way?
I didn't. No, at that time I
So it
really
was
didn't.
trial and
So
error
it was
hoeing.
correct. So I started in 2013, and I was like, yeah, and then it worked. And the first time that I actually got money in my hand from fucking, I was like, it was like a high. I was like, why have I not been doing this?
Oh,
Why have I been fucking for free my whole fucking life? Like that's wild to me. So pretty much from there, it's been a wrap.
do you get enjoyment from fucking without getting money still, or do you think getting the money has affected you from being able to
It has
experience?
affected me.
It has affected you.
Yeah, because I pretty much always regret when I fuck niggas for free.
Why? Why though? Is it just because you
Because
didn't
it's
get?
just not worth it. It's just not worth anything. It's not worth the lack of orgasm. It's not worth the waste of my time. It's not worth their emotional fucking weirdness and baggage. It's not worth the interaction. Men
So,
fucking
like,
drain me. Like,
so are you dating someone?
no,
So when you
You be liking them niggas too though.
the niggas who are tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
do.
do be liking your tricks.
Yes, I do.
So let me ask you: at any point, if they wanted to make a relationship more than that trick, whatever
Dynamic. Yeah.
yeah,
what do you call it?
yeah.
Pretty woman?
What do I call what?
Well,
Like, if I want it to be more
So,
than
No, like the
so when you call
relationship
when it's a
between you-
trick, if it's not a sugar daddy, because then you would be considered sugar
tricks are
mama,
niggas who pay me to fuck.
right?
You call them tricks to their face?
Oh, I call my niggas tricks. They know
think
they're
I-
tricks.
I don't really know if I don't
think-
know.
But they know when they're
They know
tricks.
that they're
They
tricks.
know that
I
they're
don't know that
tricks.
I've said it directly, but they know what's up. Like,
And so, if you were to like one and want to leave from being tricked on by them because now there's an emotional attachment, like, do you
I would
really
never. That would never happen.
You-
I would never. I will. Okay. I will never want to have any proximity to men that doesn't benefit me financially. Period. So you don't have to be somebody who's putting money, cash in my hand, leave cash in the dresser type of shit. But if you are a man in my life, you are going to be contributing to my life financially in some way for the sole purpose of its reparation.
Girl, did you look over at my
Period.
phone at this
If you-
outline? Because this is my next question.
If you
Like,
have a boyfriend,
Yes.
would you stop if he funded your life?
So the last
lifestyle?
person that I tried talking to, that was one of our major riffs, is that he didn't want me to do sex work basically, and I was like, cool, are you gonna give me like 5-10 bands a month or no? Like, and he's like, well, no, I can't. And I said, well, then there's the like answer to your fucking question.
so that's my next question, actually, and I'm so glad that you actually got right the fuck into it. So we had it was just an agreement to a disagreement to agree that we
Yeah.
just couldn't agree on this term that we talked about on a Patreon episode called Charity Girls. And so I'm not going to get into that. If you guys want to listen to that episode, you could be a patron. But there is a thin line between prostitution and then a girl who expects money from a nigga she fucking or
Right,
that she
like a
fucks
sugar
with.
baby?
Yes. So Passport Cuddy does this thing that if you're fucking a nigga, you should be able to ask him for $100 or a phone bill or something like that. And then the argument on the other end is, well, why? You should be able to get money because you're fucking him. So there's this thin line.
Yes. The hard answer to that is yes. You having access to my time, space, energy, vagina, mouth, life, fucking anything, emotional labor, domestic labor. I don't give a fuck. If you want access to me in any way, shape, or form, you are going to show up financially. I don't give a fuck what the dynamic of the relationship is. If you are a man, if you're a trans man, I don't give a fuck. You are showing up financially, period.
Now, you said that they need to be able to give you 5-10 bands a month. Is that because your work would require you to have sex? Like, for example, what if there's a girl somewhere, let's say, like in a cubicle,
Yeah.
right? Who's just like listening to this show, and she's now getting the same mindset. And I want to say
Charge
that
these niggas.
now, charge these niggas are right, but let's just say that she's not going to get into sex work. Let's say that
Yes.
she's trying to date and find a nigga to
Yes.
break bread on her, because that's most of the people. Passport Cuddy, who she's talking about, is an awesome Instagram personality or
But
internet
she works
personality.
and still gets money.
But
yeah.
but she has a book called The M and Man is for Money, and I feel like it's geared towards the average girl.
Yeah.
And so for that average girl, can they really listen to what you're saying and
Yes.
do the
Yes,
same?
I do the same.
Now, that's because that nigga's asking you not to work 5 or 10 bands a month. But her work doesn't require her fucking other niggas. So
but
can
neither
she
does
really-
mine because I have a master's. I can do therapy.
Right.
So I can still get money.
But is that the girl who said you should fund my whole life too? Like, give me 5, 10 bands a month.
I think no. So I say 5-10 bands because that's what I can pull in potentially, and that's what I'd be losing if I didn't fuck. That's what I'm saying.
So then
Okay.
the girl that is a 9 to 5.
But this is what I'm saying. My belief system is if you are someone who identifies as a woman, you have a right to men's money because of the power dynamic that is men and women. Just like if you are a black person, you have the fucking right to get paid by fucking white people for any access, any labor, anything that you do because of reparations. Same fucking concept because of the power like differential there.
Right.
So my thing to women is
Okay.
you don't have to sell pussy, but I suggest or encourage or like to instill because it's my belief system. So I'm not gonna say you should do this, you're supposed to do this, this is no, or I'm more superior. No, this
Right.
is just what I'm gonna fucking say and you can do what you want with it. But my thing to women is I think it is morally sound to expect men in your life, and I don't even mean men that you're like fucking dating. I mean men, period. I'm gonna expect my father to show up for me financially, and that's side note. One of the reasons why I expect so much from men is because he gives me whatever the fuck I need.
Right.
I expect men friends in my life. If I need anything, I
Okay.
can call you and get some
Now
bread
I
from
want
you.
to I want to play a little devil's
Same.
advocate here because like you've heard me say, sugar. I've had taken a bunch of money from men and love it and.
The niggas listening
But-
to this right now are rolling their fucking eyes.
But I want to. I do
But
want
you don't
play
have to
devil-
give niggas-
No,
you
no,
don't
but
have
I
to
do
give
wanna
bitches, like,
play
5
devil
bands,
advocate on
like-
it because you
Right.
said that the power dynamic
Yeah.
is why women should expect this.
Yes.
Now, as a feminist,
Yes.
what should a man expect from me if he's giving me that?
What do you mean?
What if there's a power dynamic?
Yes.
How much do I have to? What do I owe him?
What do you owe men?
If he's really giving me 5, 10 bands a month, what do you owe that man?
You can give him whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? It's your decision.
Because you're saying there's a power dynamic. So like
Yes.
in some place we're not really equal anymore if he's then funding that much.
We're not equal societally. I don't mean like my personal. I don't think in my brain I'm not like I'm not equal. I'm lesser than a man. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm talking about social access, wealth.
And that's what I
okay,
mean.
all right.
Because once that money
Is mine. I have more money than you.
No.
Okay.
Once that money, it's like I fund your whole life.
Yes.
How do you keep that man from then controlling you in essence and making sure that you are still in control? Like, look, listen,
Yes.
I do this for you. I do
Yeah,
this
yeah,
for you. I
yeah.
do this for you. So, and that's the thing.
Yes.
I've dated someone, the only man that ever completely funded my life where I did nothing, was very emotionally abusive to me
Right.
and really fucking brainwashed me.
Yes.
And made me fucking feel like I couldn't do shit.
Yes.
And I don't know how I could ever, as much as I want that,
Right.
again, I want a nigga to fucking do everything for me.
Right.
I don't know how I can get out of that again.
Yes. Absolutely.
And it makes me feel like working
Yeah.
is such a big deal.
I
And
hear
that's
you.
why I'm asking you that question.
So I think it depends on who the person is who is receiving the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I am someone, and this is not going to speak to everybody, right? But I am someone who I think I'm well read, and I think that I've unpacked a lot of shit, and so I don't want to say the word allow because that's not a fair word either.
because you said there was person receiving the money,
I-
but how can you make sure a man doesn't feel that way?
I don't give a fuck about how men feel. If you're giving me money,
There you go.
You're not. First of all, you're not controlling anything that I do, and that's of me personally, though. You know what I mean? I have been, but I'm not gonna say I've never been finesse. You know what I mean? I've never not been. I've been in abusive relationships. I've been on the other end of a man trying to control me because of what he's been giving me. And I don't even mean a
Right.
nigga who's like 5 racks. No, I just mean like he's my nigga and he bought me dinner and he thinks, all right, well, bitch, you're gonna, you know what I mean? Because I've
Right.
dealt with some really
Right.
trash ass niggas.
Right.
But because of that experience, for me personally, I've learned how to navigate niggas and fucking pinpoint red flags very early, and I disassociate myself from that. So I don't give a fuck if you're coming up with 10 bands, 20 bands, 30 bands. If I feel in some way, shape, or form like you're going to try to gaslight me, if you're going to try to emotionally control me or manipulate me, I'm separating myself from you. And that's how I navigate not becoming brainwashed or not becoming controlled by niggas. That's my like way to navigate it.
I think that you are a unicorn in this situation because I feel like a lot of women, and we see it all the time, just
Yeah.
like the bitches who get cheated on that have a bunch of shit, right? I've got a nice car, I've got a nice house, oh, he does this, let him fuck other bitches,
Yeah.
or let him do this to me. I think it's very hard for the modern girl to
Yes.
have as much confidence as you do
Yes.
and still receive money. And
It's a
still be able
learning.
to
It's a
feel-
learning process. I fuck up.
So is.
Like I don't want to say. I don't want it. I don't want what I'm saying to come off as I have never been a bitch who's been controlled. That's not true. I have been in really fucked up situations. You know what I mean? It's a fucking learning process.
It is.
What for me has.
I can give you that because I know for a fact a dude couldn't put his hands on me again.
Then there you go. And I have been a bitch who let niggas put their hands on me again. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's a fucking learning process.
Right.
My thing for me was I reflected on what again, all for me, it's therapeutic shit. What was going on for me that made me continue to stay in a situation that was not good for me? What was my role in that? And that conversation is a really, really difficult conversation to be had, because I'm never going to be victim blaming. I'm never going to say, well, you allowed it, you stay with him. No. We're not going to do that, because we're going to hold men accountable for the shit that they do. Also, a large part of the conversation is, where was your intuition in that moment? Did you feel something in the early beginning where it says, that's not the nigga for you, but then you ignored it and kept going? What was that situation like for you? What was going on through your head? Or what are the societal effects of you having access to this man? Oh, well, my parents want me to be married, or he's got this job. How did that socialization play into it? Also, boundary setting. A lot of women, we're not good at setting boundaries because how we've been socialized with men. So me, a huge thing is I practice setting boundaries. And that started with setting boundaries with myself. If I have to fucking go pee, I'm going to stop in the middle of this podcast and go pee, because I'm not going to ignore my body telling me to pee. You feel me? I literally started with baby things, setting boundaries with me, and then built it up with setting boundaries with niggas.
Setting boundaries. That's a great answer.
I also just feel like, too, a lot of women often ask me and Weezy how we do things, how we get certain men, how to be a hoe, like things like that. And it's just like what you said in all of this. Like, there's not really a guideline for this. It's literally different based on everyone, especially because we're all dealing with different interactions.
You have totally different things to offer than I do, and I do than you do.
Absolutely. So, and niggas want us for different reasons. Exactly. Whether it's our personalities, how we speak, our bodies, know, my fucking big ass. Like, one of the fucking things. So,
are you going to home mail?
Yeah, so
I want to really, wait. Do you remember the girl that said, please read my home mail at the live show?
We can read that on the next one, because I actually have a question about this one. I don't really...
Okay.
I want to say something before we move on. Yes. If you are someone who is trying to go into sex work, I really, really encourage you to seek out other sex workers prior to getting into it who can help mentor you. And if there are people who can mentor you for free, that's great, but also throw them some coin every now and then, because it's really, really helpful to have somebody who can help hold your hand through the process. So for me, that's my best friend, Nina K. Like, she holds me the fuck down. If I need any information about anything, she's the one who told me how to screen niggas before I meet anybody stranger. She's the one who told me how to do my rape.
And hit you up, girl.
I'm just saying, like, that's who I'm okay with mentoring. I don't hate doing shit for free though, but people ask me here and there.
They hit Nally up.
Just so y'all know.
She's
so
like, girl,
that's really
so
important, and I encourage people to definitely seek that out so you can have some help and guidance.
That's good advice.
Okay, so I wanted to get to our home mail. And with this question, well, it's not even really a question, but it's a conversation I also wanted to have with you because it was one that we had last episode. And I think that in the line of work that you have, you would able to maybe kind of shed some light on this, because clearly as men, they don't even know their own anatomy. So we got a response. Shout out to one of our male listeners. He said, "What up, Weezy and Mandy? Big fan of the podcast. Y'all are dope as fuck. But I'm listening to the episode with Wax and Andrew, and I have to be honest. I've been with my wife for 11 years and couldn't have a threesome if I had to put on a condom. I told my wife that if we did something with another woman, it would have to be oral, which is ass backwards, but that's why I've never had one. And if I had to put one on, I'd probably go soft fast as shit."
Yep.
So I had another person write us up about the same episode, and I want to write this. I want to share this as well because it's on the same topic. "Mandy, you're absolutely fucking right about the fucking a girl raw, then trying to fuck a girl with condoms. It's crazy. I was having
Say it again. Say it again.
So basically, the topic is
hold on. So Mandy said that it's because she was like, I've fucked with niggas. Or I've heard that niggas will put a condom on and go soft.
Yes.
And go soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what. So that's what the
so
conversation
she was
is
saying
about.
that's probably why that guy needed to do that.
So we had a problem with a guy not wanting to use a condom.
We on the other table said, "Fuck that, it's new pussy."
That's what he said, and I was like, "No, fuck that shit." So he actually said, let me start over. Trying to fuck a girl with condoms. It's crazy. I was having sex with these two chicks during the same time period, one with condoms and one without. And I've always been a person that can go up rounds back to back. But I found after having sex with one chick raw, then the other chick with condoms, I could only go one round and it would take forever to get back up. I thought
with
something.
The condom.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought something was wrong with me. Then I realized that my dick was used to going raw. Since me and the raw chick stopped fucking, now I'm back to my normal self. So I wanted to talk about this because as someone who's in sex work, do you require condoms? Do you not? And do you see a difference when you do tell a guy to use a condom who maybe isn't used to using condoms. I.e., I mentioned the married niggas I be fucking.
Yeah.
Them niggas don't be, and it's like, because they fuck their wives raw, they can't fuck me raw.
Right.
But wearing a condom gives you, it's different.
Right.
Even if it is new pussy, which
Right.
is what the argument was last week. Like, niggas could get hard. New pussy is new pussy. We love
Yeah,
new
no,
pussy.
that's not true. New pussy is nervous pussy too. So niggas have issues with that because they're nervous. So there's that. There's a piece of that part as well.
Didn't even think of that. And
Yeah.
so, is there a trick that, because we have a lot of male listeners.
Yeah.
So, is there a trick that maybe you could provide to a male listener who is used to having raw sex
Yeah.
and now has a partner that
Yeah.
wants them to wear a condom?
Yeah.
What could they do?
Yeah. I think the first thing that I want to say is people who have penises, y'all need to give
People have
yourself.
penises.
I'm an inclusive bitch. Like, we're not even gonna say men. People with penises in general, y'all need to be kinder with yourself about your penis because men specifically are socialized to believe that their dick should stand up hard as fuck at any given moment. If I touch you, your dick is hard, and if not, something's wrong with you. And that's not the reality. The reality is
Like that,
there
yes.
is a lot that goes into an erection. Period. There is a lot. And arousal, erection, and ejaculation are 3 separate processes. So sometimes your dick may be hard and you're not even aroused. Sometimes you might nut and you weren't even hard. Like there's like different combinations of things.
Right.
So you need to be patient and kind with yourself and understanding that your dick is a part of your body and love it. And don't beat yourself up if your dick can't get up sometimes or if you come fast or if it's not as hard as usual or whatever. There's so many things that can contribute to that. Nervousness, drinking,
I didn't even
your
think of
fucking
all of that.
I didn't think about
how what you
pussy being
eat.
nervous pussy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I that's my thing to men
I think
specifically.
I think that's great advice too for women to hear because like I'm sure
I've-
I've been
I
there
talked
with
to
like
women
Oh, it
about this
fucks
as
up
well.
our
size
egos.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
and
it's
you're
not
like,
about
oh
you,
my
bitch.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Right.
Get the
And
fuck
so-
over yourself.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I've been there where even wanting to get a guy up for a second round,
Yeah.
and he just couldn't get up. And normally I'm used to if I suck your
Yeah.
dick, it's gonna get back hard.
Right.
But if I'm with someone
And then we
they're
get
not-
really bitchy. And
We
then
do
that,
get bitchy.
that creates a fucking anxiety syndrome for niggas because then they're like, oh, fuck, I gotta make sure. And if you're thinking all that, they're not getting their fucking dick
I didn't
hard.
even think that. I'm not gonna
We
lie.
need
I'm
to be
very
more-
selfish
yeah,
in that
yeah, yeah.
sense.
I mean, I
too.
think that we need to think about it in terms of how most of us think about foreplay. Like, I would like sometime to get my shit more wet. Like, some people have super wet vaginas. Some people do not. That's a
Right.
reality. We all love to talk about like, oh, my pussy is super wet, gushy, juicy, bitch. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we have dry days. Some people just
Yeah.
don't have as much lubrication. Go buy some fucking lube. But there's a whole thing about like most men have a thing with women like, oh, you got to use lube.
You gotta
can't get it wet.
They do
So we
shame.
have
They
this-
shame us if
true.
we have
it's a
lube.
reciprocal
It
issue
is.
that
It
we
takes me
create
a long
anxiety
time to
with
get
each
very
other.
lubed up. Like,
Me
I mean,
too.
Oral and like once, like honestly, the only way I get crazy wet is a certain angle from missionary when like
Yeah.
my legs are back and it's like that
Right.
deep ass
Yeah.
fuck.
Right.
Then it's like
So
And what's crazy is I've judged how much I like a guy sometimes even by how wet I am when I'm with them.
Right.
So I'll be with one guy and I get super fucking wet, super
Yes.
aroused, and then the next guy is like, wait, do I really not like you this
Right.
much? Because my pussy is normally way wetter than this. Why isn't it not
Right.
wet like it usually is?
Mhm.
And so I even psychologically tie the wetness of my pussy to
Right.
how much I like a guy.
yeah, and I think so. So the underlying kind of thing here is we all are human
For
beings.
real. What is that? Wait, the niggas in the room looking like what? No, look, they're like hands up in the air. I
I
ain't
honestly
gonna
feel
say
like
nothing.
wax over here psychologically. Like, bitch, let's just get back to pussy. I'm like
I'm
nervous.
just saying, I be thinking
I
about
don't
my
wanna start
pussy
thinking
and
about
I
my
be
head
feeling.
and my pussy because now what's gonna happen is when I leave this motherfucker and go get some dick, I'm gonna be like, oh my god,
Is my pussy-
I'm not into you anymore.
Yeah, so it's a lot of mental stuff, and we also have a lot of baggage that we bring into shit, and then we don't communicate about things properly. And you know,
Communication.
there's a lot of things to it. But I also want to say that your vagina or your penis, that's really not the sex organ. The biggest sex organ is your brain. So if you have a lot of shit going on mentally, if you have a lot of distractions, you have a lot of stress, whatever, it's your brain that's gonna fuck you up. It's not your dick. So your dick is only gonna function if your brain tells it to. You know what I mean? Everything, the sensation of pain or feeling good or pleasure all comes from your brain.
I've talked to my pussy before.
And
Like,
that's
about
why
getting
you
it
don't have to
together.
even you don't have to do anything to stimulate your vagina or dick to have an orgasm. It's not about your genitals, it's about your brain.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a friend right now who is kind of going through a mental chaos like right now because he's questioning not only his sexuality but what he's into in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And he's said even for the last year it's been hard for him to even enjoy sex because
Yeah,
he
of
doesn't
course.
know if what he likes is what he's supposed to like.
Right.
And so he's like, I'd rather just stay away from it because the anxiety that comes with sex is something I'd rather steer clear of until I am accepting of who I am.
One of the
So-
first things that I tell people when they come to see me for therapy is to take should and supposed to out of your fucking vocabulary. Shoulds and supposed to will fuck you up because that's expectations, and then you just get all wrapped up in that. So it's really not should and supposed to. It's I'd like for this, or I wish this, or I want that. It's not shoulds and supposed. That's all bullshit. So
I do
unpack
like
that
that.
completely.
I do like that.
It's not I should have a hard dick right now because this new pussy. No, I would like to have a hard dick right now because this new pussy.
And you
know
could
what I
always
mean?
pray, guys. Y'all know if your dick is not working, you could always pray.
I don't know how helpful
Go
Jesus
into the
would be with
bathroom
that,
and pray, and hopefully your answers will be questioned. I will say that God has a sense of humor, honey, because I did pray for my period to come on early because I'm going to Vegas, so I wanted to be clear before Vegas.
Boom.
Bitch, nigga made it come in the middle of the day. I had to go change my goddamn clothes. That shit, I was like, you petty as fuck, God. But thanks, but goddamn, you petty as fuck.
Oh my
But
God.
I want to thank you so much for coming on. Guys, y'all don't understand. This girl on social media is fucking amazing. The things that she says, the things that she really gets you to think about in terms of your sexuality, in terms of sex, in terms of women's rights, in terms of everything together is fucking amazing. If you guys are looking for someone new to follow because y'all need to open your minds the way you guys have with this podcast, I want you guys to follow Raquel Savage. She also has her own podcast where her stories shit on me and Weezy. I know y'all think me and Weezy be about doing some shit, but goddamn, Raquel be living this motherfucking life. So
I feel like sex worker stories gotta be
No,
like, better
her
than
shit is
cubicle
lit.
bitch
My
stories.
shit,
Bro,
my shit is pre-sex worker stories.
No,
honestly.
but not only that,
I don't even have
bro,
interesting
this
sex
bitch
worker
be all
stories, to be
yachts.
honest.
She done talked about fucking bachelor parties. She done talked about this football player nigga took me here. Her shit be lit.
I gotta get it.
No, her
I gotta
shit
get
be,
a blue check mark under my belt. I
Bitch.
mean, it's been a few
her
years.
shit be lit.
I feel like once I do that, then I could come back. It's just research. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm in an open thing.
Listen, don't give me a blue check mark. It's a wrap. Y'all saw my MCM this week. Listen,
Yeah,
that's
he
who
was
I'm
fine as
after,
fuck. I
bitch.
saw
Ain't
that
he
shit
fine as
too.
fuck? You was like, girl,
Hold on.
I ain't even gonna shout his name out because I don't need y'all looking. I had to untag him and unadd him. I was like, whoa, this is getting a lot of attention from my pretty friends.
Right.
I don't need the competition.
You are so annoying.
I was like, I don't need that competition. Let me slide in them DMs
Oh
before they
my
do.
God.
But where can our listeners find you?
Yeah, so you can find me. RaquelSavage.com is my website. Raquel Savage is Snapchat and Instagram. Raquel_Savage is my Twitter. My podcast is the Savage Life Podcast, which we actually just finished and wrapped, so there will be no more Savage Life Podcast. But there's lots of 6 seasons you can catch up
What?
How many episodes did you do?
on. It's 10 episode seasons, so there
Okay,
should
so
be
about
60
60.
episodes.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Okay.
I think seasons are a good thing.
Yeah, we
Like,
only
a
did
lot
that
of
because we like to take a
podcasts-
break.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you might.
Right, because she got dick to suck. She
How'd
got to
that
come
pussy
back with
get?
stories.
Facts.
How'd that
And
pussy get
and
for the
yeah, and if y'all want to pay me, y'all can pay me
I
paypal.me
love this.
/Raquel Savage. My Cash App is King Savage 3X. If you just want to like book me for anything, raq.savage@gmail.com. Bring the bag, please.
Oh, bring that back. And we'll go ahead and include all of those things in our description of this episode so that you could find her. And we're also going to tag her. Also, I have this very cute ass fucking hat on right now that says Savage.
These are
Yeah.
dope.
So if you guys
Yes, I do,
are
on the
interested in
website.
merchandise
for
that
bringing
says
them. I really like it a
Savage,
lot.
they're really fucking dope. And I just, again, want to thank you for coming on because I think you're dope. I think you're smart. And I want y'all to
Thank
know
you.
right here, hoes read, bro. Hoes are smart. Hoes graduate. This is what the fuck happens, dog. This is the new
That
age
is
era of
master.
hoes. I just need you to know.
Thank you.
She got her master's. She's shitting on me. I only got 2 bachelors over here. But hey, anyways, guys,
the dropout.
I'm super excited. Again, if you guys want to hear extra content from us, you guys can become patrons at patreon.com. Also, if you want to send us your home mail, you can send that to horribledecisions@gmail.com. You guys know where to fucking find us. Thank you, y'all. This has been yet another episode of Horrible Decisions. Bye.